Before we came to America, we were living in the east by the Nile River, living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell.
It's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Master Farad Muhammad said 6 words to us, and these were the 6 most powerful words that he spoke. He said, accept your own and be yourself. Accept your own. The Caucasians who brought our fathers into slavery desired to take us away from our own people, our own culture, our own religion, our own God, our own language. So we have grown up in America away from our own mind, away from our own selves, and so we have been actually indoctrinated with an alien mentality.
10,000 fearless men, because we're going to have to challenge the things that are destroying our community.
Before we came to America, we were living in
1,000 fearless men, because we're going to have to challenge the things that are destroying our community. So this ain't no punk time. This ain't no temple time, mosque time, or church time. All the singing and shouting and preaching is over. Get in them streets now, block by block. We're going to have to clean it up. The airwaves is not enough. The television screen is not enough. You got to put boots on the ground who are trained and are willing to make the sacrifice of life itself to see our community made a decent place to live.
Attention. Drill.
soldiering is a part of the Nation of Islam, and it readies all of us to obey the commands of God. Now some will ask, well, why military drill? Because this is what produces the camaraderie.
Facebook and Instagram thought that they could ban the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
But in reality, they can't, because he already lives in us and millions of others.
قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
In the name of Allah, Master Shahid Muhammad, the one true and living God to whom praise is due forever, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is his messenger. Peace, family, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of WHID-FM. WHID-FM is your personal platform where those of us striving to follow the life-giving, life-saving teachings of the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as given to us by his premier pupil, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, gather right here in this virtual meeting place to answer that most critical question: what has Islam done for me? It's Sunday, August 24th, 2025, and at this time, we're going to turn it over to our special guest co-host for tonight, who is our dear sister, WHID Muhammad, hailing from Muhammad Mosque number 2 in Chicago, Illinois. All praises due to Allah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister WHID. Assalamu alaikum.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can hear you. Wa alaikum salam. How are you, Brother West?
Doing great.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. How are you, family? The WHID family. We have a special guest today, Brother Shahid Muhammad, the math doctor, affectionately known as the math doctor. I've known Brother Shahid for a very long time. And Brother West, I don't have the bio for Brother Shahid.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. My apologies.
I would love to read it to the audience.
Let's see. We'll turn it over to Sister Latifah for the bio.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
In the
salam.
most holy name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I too bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who is indeed with us in the person of Master Shahid Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. And we thank him for raising the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is the exalted Christ, eternal leader of the nation of Islam, and the great Messiah among us. And we thank both of them for leaving with us our divine leader, teacher, and guide, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I am happy to greet all of you, and I am honored to read the bio for tonight's guest. And he is the math doctor, Brother Minister, Student Minister Shahid Muhammad from Chicago, Illinois. The math doctor, Brother Shahid, was born and raised in Philadelphia. Brother Shahid was blessed with an early foundation in the Nation of Islam, as both of his parents were registered members when he was born. His earliest memories include attending the Savior's Day special dinners and desserts, and the powerful image of the Muhammad Speaks newspaper showing two brothers, one in Africa and one in America, holding hands in unity. In 1987, Brother Shahid officially joined the Nation of Islam in Camden, New Jersey. After graduating from Penn State University with a degree in secondary education mathematics, he received a life-changing call from Sister Shelby Muhammad, then director of Muhammad University of Islam. She congratulated him on being the only teacher the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan allowed her to hire over the phone. Answering the call, Brother Shahid moved to Chicago in 1989, beginning what would become more than a 30-year mission of teaching mathematics at Muhammad University of Islam. In 1996, he authored his first book, How to Teach Math to Black Students. The following year, he expanded his reach by producing a series of instructional math videos that were sold across the United States and even abroad. Dedicated to assisting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's mission to uplift our people in mathematics literacy, Brother Shahid traveled extensively throughout America and into London, delivering workshops and lectures to parents, educators, and students. Continuing to innovate, he transformed his math videos into DVDs and launched his YouTube channel, Get Your Math On, offering fun, engaging, and educational math shows. His work and passion have also brought him to numerous blog talk shows and radio programs, where he has emphasized both the importance of mastering mathematics and the empowering guidance of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. With decades of service as an educator, author, speaker, and innovator, Brother Shahid Muhammad, the Math Doctor, has dedicated his life to inspiring a love of mathematics and empowering communities through knowledge. So we are excited to welcome to WHID-FM our brother, student minister, the Math Doctor, Dr. Shahid Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Praise be to
praises
Allah.
to Allah. We meet again.
Yes, a
This
blessing
time
to
across
be here.
the virtual media.
I
So,
wanna thank
Brother
you
Shahid,
all.
we have been waiting for you for a while, and the community is waiting to hear from the Math Doctor. And historically, math has been a subject that many of us have felt like we could not master. It was too hard for us. Some of us were made to think that we couldn't do mathematics. So just off the top, as the Math Doctor, what would you say to some of those quotes and thoughts that have been perpetuating the Black community and has held us back from being successful in mathematics?
Yes, ma'am. I want to first thank you all for the invitation, and honored to be here with you all on this powerful program once again. And the enemy of our people and our rise does not want us to master mathematics as a mass of people. So they want to make it seem like it's only for an elite group that were just blessed with the genius, blessed with the intelligence in order to do math. So they make it in a perplexing, difficult manner that turns students away from wanting to master it. So you'll hear a lot of children say, my mom said she wasn't good at math, my pop wasn't good at math, so I ain't gonna be good at math. So there's this fallacy that they put across to our people in the masses, that mathematics is just for an elite group of people. But we definitely are capable of mastering mathematics. We just need the right teaching, the right motivation, the right discipline, and the right knowledge of self. We're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have to have a knowledge of self and a knowledge of God and a knowledge of our enemy. But in particular, a knowledge of self, because we need to know who the originators of mathematics are. And if we knew the knowledge of self, we would know that when we look in the mirror as Black people all over the planet Earth, we are the originators of mathematics in the first place. So we definitely have what it takes to master math, since we are the originators and creators of it. But it's just that when we were brought over here by this enemy, he wanted to cut off any reading, any mathematics, because that is what you need to rule. That's what you need to build a nation. This is what you need to problem solve, to get your mind straight, to solve the problems of day-to-day life. It's all mathematical. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us a quote that said, if a people do not know mathematics, then they will always be subject to a people that know it. So they want to make sure that the masses, in particular, the black man and woman who are supposed to be and will be the future rulers, they want to make sure that we do not master mathematics as a whole, that our children are suffering in mathematics. And that's the current state that it is right now. But we just need the right teaching, the right teachings, the right educational system that's geared toward us excelling. And we will see math students blossoming all over the planet Earth, and in particular in America. There are many, but they just are not put on TV. They're not put on social media. Students that do well in mathematics. What do we see? We see the rappers, we see the entertainers, we see the sports stars, the actors and the actresses, and that's what we think that we can excel in. Nobody comes up and sees a math doctor on the commercial saying, hey, I'm excelling in math. So there is a total mission of the enemy to make sure we don't master mathematics and are not competent in it.
Praise be to Allah. Would you tell us, you said in the bio that the Muhammad Speaks image of the two brothers, one in Africa and one in America, holding hands in unity, impressed you. How has that impacted your journey as one today taking the Final Call newspaper out to our people?
Absolutely. Well, when I was little, my parents didn't take us to the mosque. So there was just certain little symbols and images that I remembered. And I do remember that image of the two black men holding hands, and the Muhammad Speaks and the icon and the logo. Well, it's only the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that gave me the global perspective that I had to come out of Philadelphia, come out of Chicago, come out of America, and realize that we are a people whose home is not just our address. It's not just the city we belong to. It's not the state. It's not even the country. Our address as Black original people is the whole planet Earth. And I would not have that knowledge if it wasn't for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So that gave me a global perspective that we start with our people in America, but we have to go global. The whole planet needs these teachings and this program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So the Final Call, which is called now, is our instrument of truth. It's our instrument as soldiers on the battlefield to go out and get our people. That's our main instrument and tool that we use to go get our people. So I have gotten a very, I have gotten a great appreciation for the power of that paper, the importance of that paper, and the importance of going out and doing the number one mission, which is the resurrection of the dead. So that image of that Muhammad Speaks gave me today an understanding of that global work, the universal work of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's not just in our cities. It's not just in North America. It starts here, but it spreads abroad.
Looking at that, the global view that you give in the language of universal and the language of mission, I want to go to your book, The 12 Inches Makes a Ruler.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was very impressive for me as a reading. And we actually used that as a year-long reader for the middle school at Muhammad University of Islam in Washington. So with your permission, I want to read a paragraph, and I would like for you to expand on it to the audience.
Yes, ma'am.
You wrote in your book, quote, "I have found with the help of Allah that the number 12 represents with mathematical proof that the first God who created himself out of triple darkness set in motion events, circumstances, situations, and relationships that would ultimately bring about his most crucial objective, to make perfect his creation. Allah desired for man to be perfect, and that the black man would rise to rulership again, into the perfect rulership. Since this was his desire, everything that took place after the creation of himself was to bring this about. Hence, nothing takes place out of sheer coincidence. So, would you talk to us a little bit about that number 12, God's creation of himself and our destiny to rise into perfect rulership?
Mm. Yes. So we're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that things are not coincidental, that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. So with that first God that created himself out of triple darkness, as I said in that quote, desired and wanted perfection of man, woman, and the creation. So he set in motion things that would bring this about. And the motion of these things that would bring this about are all based in mathematics, because mathematics is not based on emotion. It's based on critical decisions that are made, cause, effect, conditional things, if thens, that set things in motion to bring us to this point where we are now, with Allah, Master Prophet Muhammad coming to save us, redeem us, and transform us from Negroes, savages, into gods. So the number 12, we're talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, represents rulership, because there's 12 inches to a ruler. If you look at a lot of the things that represent rulership, there's 12s there. There's 12 minor scientists and 12 major scientists. There's 12, I believe, jurors when you have a jury trial. 12 is composed of a 1, which we're taught represents Allah, and 2, which represents the black woman, but also represents the messenger of Allah. So with that 12, the 1, Allah, and his messenger, they are the ones that are transforming and cubing the nation into righteousness. So we see that 12 there. If you look at the old prophecy of the 144,000, they're the ones that the prophets said that would be the only ones that would make it. But Master Farah Muhammad's and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Farrakhan are going to beat that prophecy. And the 144,000, if you look at the 144, it is the square of 12. And then he said he's going to cube the nation into righteousness. So that will be 12 cubed, which is like 17,000 something, all right? So that number 12 represents that coming into rulership of the black man and woman. And if you look at a lot of the events that took place, let me give you 1934, Master Farah Muhammad left. If you look at the 3 and the 4 at the end of 1934, 3 times 4 is 12. 1975, when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad departed, not died, departed, that's 7 and 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. There's so many instances where that 12 continues to pop up. And that all represents the events that would lead to us becoming the future rulers of the planet Earth. So that 12 inches makes a ruler, dictates that we, those that were taken, kidnapped, brought over here, we will become the future rulers of the planet Earth. And it's all based on that 12 and all based on mathematics and the mind of Allah, which is a mathematical mind. He is the supreme mathematician.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And it's really helping just listening to you give the confidence for us again in being able to master mathematics. I've always known you as a brother with great humility, and I really had the opportunity and blessing to watch you grow into the ministry and into your service in math and in the ministry and resurrection of our people. Would you tell us what it's like to serve and assist the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a soldier, as an ambassador of education, and as a student minister?
Man, it's like a gift from Allah because if you know how critical the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is, he is the door. He's the modern day Jesus. So if I have the opportunity to go back 2,000 years ago and help that Jesus, if I had the opportunity to go back 4,000 years ago and help that Moses, and any prophet, Noah, Lot, Abraham, those that were trying to do the will of Allah and establishing the kingdom of Allah, that would be a tremendous blessing. But we have a man now in our midst today coming at the end of Satan's world, right on time, the modern Messiah, modern Jesus. If we had the opportunity to help him, wouldn't that be a tremendous blessing? So to me, it is a blessing beyond blessings to be able to just say that I'm a helper of his and bear witness to being a true helper of his. If a man needs help washing dishes, or if a man needs help building a bridge, and you do something else and you say, I helped you, that's not necessarily the help that he needed. So I am in the mission of 1, education, and 2, the resurrection of our people. And that's exactly the help that he needs us to help him with, in establishing an educational system all over the planet Earth, Muhammad University of Islam, and going after the masses of our people, and then the planet Earth in general. So it is just a gift and a blessing. And one time I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he called me his great helper. And man, that was just an unreal interaction with him. And so I've been trying to maintain, trying to live up to that, trying to make sure every week I'm out on the street, every week I'm giving that final call out and doing the best I can to help our people in the area of mathematics and in education. So it's just a blessing to be a worker, a helper of this man who none of us can match in terms of duty, match in terms of work. So I'm just trying to be a little helper to help him in this cause.
Praises due to Allah. Brother Shahid, what's the story behind your name, how you received your name, the meaning of your name, and how you are working that in the work and mission that you do?
Yes, ma'am. Well, as I said in my bio, when I was born, my parents were in the nation. So they gave me the first name, Shahid. And that is because instead of going to the hospital, I wanted to come out in my mom's bedroom. I didn't want to wait to get in the car and go to the hospital. So Shahid is bearer witness, and my middle name is Ghani, which means independent. So she said she named me that because I was like an independent witness. So that is my first name, and my middle name I got from my parents. Now my last name, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, when we were at Muhammad University of Islam, our first graduation, he actually put all the students in a limo and took them out in the south suburbs and treated them to dinner. So of course, all the teachers that, were teaching at the time were invited. My mom was invited because my brother actually graduated too. I brought him down from Philly with me. So he went to school at MUI, and I was his math teacher. So that was interesting. But I was sitting there, and then I got a tap from one of the security brothers, and he said, the minister wants to see you. And I was just blown away because I was coming from Philly and never got the opportunity in Philadelphia to actually meet the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We'd always see him either on video or hear him on the phone at that time when he did conference calls or whatever. But so I went over to the table, and he asked me what my last name was, and I told him. And he said, it'll be Muhammad from here on out. So that's how I got to Muhammad, which was a tremendous blessing. Then he gave my whole family Muhammad, gave my mom Muhammad. And so that was just a tremendous blessing. But yeah, the Shahid means bearer of witness, also kind of means martyr or whatever. And then the Ghani is for the independent, because I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to come on out and start being a math doctor early.
All praises due to Allah. And in being the math doctor, your first book, How to Teach Math to Black Students, will you tell us about your methodology and why it works?
Yes, man, I got so much undercover controversy about that book's title. I actually saw like a Twitter conversation where they were tearing me up about the title of the book, saying, why would it say how to teach math to black students? Why just black students? Are you saying black students are the worst in condition and so forth? We don't know how to learn math. And you had white people commenting about it. It was just very interesting. But Allah blessed me for the years that I was teaching at Muhammad University of Islam. That would be about 7 years or 6 or 7 years. I began to see how much the students love my class. And man, they would just, brag about the class. They loved the class. And so I said, man, how could I replicate that and duplicate that for other teachers? So that gave me the idea to put some of the methods and strategies that I was using in class in a book so that teachers could use it and then duplicate it. So in the book, I talk about the use of humor, making mathematics real, making mathematics exciting to learn, using games, activities, connecting the mathematics to the students' reality so that they don't feel that this is just a bunch of numbers and letters, but they actually see the relevance of it and they see themselves in the picture, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, that students must see themselves in the curriculum, in the picture, or they'll be tuned out and go want to do something else. So those were some of the things I talked about. I talked about the importance of raising the method in which we assess the students in math and teach them in math. So we don't want to just stay rote memory. We don't want to just stay doing basic problems, but not understanding the why, not taking it up to being able to prove it, being able to justify it, being able to explain your math. All that I put in the book in different ways of doing that. The reason why I titled it How to Teach Math to Black Students, because the statistics show back then and now, probably even worse now, that we are at the bottom in terms of math performance. So I said, why don't I deal with those that are in the emergency room first? And that's our people in terms of mathematics. And so that's what inspired that book. And it's still available. You can get it on Amazon or African American Images, because my beloved mentor, one of my mentors, brother, may God Allah be pleased with him, brother Jawanza Kajufu, he actually took over the publishing of that book after the first couple of years when I did self-publishing. So he actually publishes the book as well.
All praises due to Allah. Speaking of Brother Kajufu, as you said, may Allah be pleased with him. In a recent talk, I heard you say that you still carry Dr. Lonnie Shabazz's phone number in your contacts.
Yeah.
And so how did Dr. Shabazz influence your mission in mathematics? And why should we know him today in our history? And again, may Allah be pleased with him.
Man, Dr. Shabazz was like a giant. He's a contemporary giant in mathematics, Black mathematician. When I go around and I ask parents, teachers, and students, can you name me 5 Black mathematicians? I mean, great mathematicians. Not a teacher of mathematics from your school, not me, because I'm nowhere near great. And I ask them, can you name me 5 great? Most of the time, they can't name me 1. And so when I go into giving them some of the great mathematicians, Imhotep, Black ones, Hypatia, others, I give them Dr. Lonnie, not Dr. Lonnie Shabazz anymore, Dr. Abdul Alim Shabazz, who is, he was in the Nation of Islam, not only a minister, but he was a giant in mathematics. This brother's resume, man, it took me almost an hour to read through it. All the accomplishment this brother does. We should know him because 1, he's one of us in the Nation of Islam. 2, he is one of the greatest mathematicians in the modern times in America, because most of the Blacks that got PhDs in math, they came through him. He made a lot of PhDs in mathematics. And once I found out about him, the minister told me about him and how he was in the nation and everything. And I think he was a minister at one time in Washington, D.C. Mosque. And man, I would always go when I went to conferences, particularly the National Alliance of Black School Educators Conference. I was blessed to present there 3 times, 3 years. And each year he would always be there. And he would walk by himself, very humble. You would not know that this is one of the greatest mathematicians. The brother was just so humble and so beautiful, his spirit. And so when he passed, man, it really hurt me because he was one of my role models. I would always tell him he's the man. And he would tell me, no, you're the man because you're carrying it on. I said, no, you're the man because I can't tie your shoes. So that's why we need to know him. He's a historical figure, great impact on mathematics, not just for Black people, but for everybody. And he's one of the greatest mathematicians that we've had in contemporary times in North America. So, may Allah be pleased.
Thank you for that. Yes, sir, because we do need to upgrade those that we keep hearing about in different fields, but they take us back so far instead of giving us, like you say, our contemporary leaders and those who excel today. In the chat, there's a question from a brother who has said first, my old math teacher. His name is Tony Too Smooth. And he's asking the question, is the number 12 comparable to the number 19?
Right, and the fact that every number has meaning. And 12 is the number of rulership. 19 represents the signature of Allah. It's also the code that the Holy Quran is coded on. As our beloved mother Shahid Muhammad broke that down and was a prolific educator, prolific scholar. And one of her foremost scholarships is the study of the Holy Quran and the representation of the number 19 as being the signature of Allah and the code which the Holy Quran is on. So yes, it's comparable in the fact that it's another number that we're given the meaning of by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I don't have the meaning of all the numbers. There's only certain ones being here in Chicago that I either heard from Mother Tanetta, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, mentioned in the lecture, or the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan mentioned in the lecture, the meaning of those numbers. So it would be comparable in that sense. That 12 is the rulership, 19 is the code of the Quran, and the signature of Allah. So we can take, Mother Tanetta would always show us how we could take a date, a year, and put 19 in front of it, or a significant number, put 19 in front of it, and look at that year, and then you would find some relationship, some correlation there to our struggle and to our reality.
Thank you for that. You mentioned Mother Tanetta, and may Allah be pleased with her. Again, in your book, 12 Inches Makes a Ruler, you mentioned that Mother Tanetta Muhammad and Sister Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with her, were both mentors of yours. Mm-hmm. What are some of the most valuable lessons and gems that you received from them as mentors?
Oh, man. Well, our beloved Dr. Ava Muhammad, I mean, she was the one that inspired the writing of the number 12 book. She actually asked me to do some research on it for the study guides. I think it was a study guide. I think probably was study guide number 12. And she asked me to just go do some research on the 12. And then once I started the research, man, it just exploded. Atoms began to crack, and I saw so many different things, connections, and I went on ahead and wrote it up into a book form, the meaning of the number 12. But she was the one, she's the catalyst that got me started on that. And she also was a mentor throughout my years at Muhammad University of Islam and in helping her in the self-improvement study course. All of us that were coordinators, we would get fed on different aspects of coordinating correctly, understanding the self-improvement course, and elevating in that. So, I mean, and then she would teach the Islamic studies to the children, just magnificent. And then Mother Tanetta would come with the workshops for the teachers, just taking us on a whole nother level, showing us her scholarship of how she would take the teachings into science, mathematics, art, I mean, music. She was just a brilliant scholar and scientist in the Nation of Islam. So both of them, you know, fed me in terms of the mathematics, in terms of the spiritual, and the connections of education with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Sir, a lot of times when you open up, Brother Shahid, you ask the people after you give the greeting, you said, how's everybody feeling? And then you ask them, how you thinking? So why is that question so important? And what should we think about our thinking on a day-to-day basis like that?
Satan rules the 85% by keeping us emotional and not thinkers. So when I ask that question, most people, they say, hey, how you doing, man? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? We all basing everything on feeling, which is keeping us at a lower level because it's just dealing with emotional. I feel this way, I feel that way, but we're not dealing with the high level of our body and our being, which is the thought. So when I follow up and say, how you thinking? That's more important of a question, because if we're thinking right, then we will be feeling right. But we don't want to base everything on feeling, because then we do things just to feel good, but we don't do things that may be in line with the will of Allah is. So we have to think and use mathematics at all times so that our decisions are based on mathematics and not on emotion. So I'm going to court this sister or try to marry her, not because of she looks good and she is pleasing to the eye. That's emotional. I'm going to do it because I see that she's a righteous such and such, a righteous believer, a homemaker. She takes care of the children, whatever. So I'm going to buy this car, not based on feeling. The sound system is nice. I feel good when I sit in it. No, I did the Carfax, right? I got the statistics on it. I'm going to buy this home. I got the statistics on the home. So my decisions are based on mathematics and not emotion. But the 85% operating mostly and mainly on emotion. I'm eating this because it tastes good. I'm doing this because it feels good. I'm over here because it looks good, but not based on mathematics. So I asked that question, the two questions, because I want them to think on that second question more, to get an understanding that we need to think right first and check our thinking. Then the rest of the body will be in check.
Praise be to Allah. From the audience, we have Sister Juanita Newsom, and we're happy that she's with us tonight. She has a question. What do you believe is the most significant barrier for our Black school-age students in the area of mathematics?
I think it's a foundation thing. In order to excel in math, you have to have a strong foundation of the basics. And so mathematics should not start in kindergarten. The understanding of mathematics should not start in first grade. You got to start learning and teaching that child mathematics when it comes out the womb. Even in the womb, you can be embracing, the mother can embrace some mathematical understanding and pass it on to the child in the womb. But you have to give that child a start when their years of learning are the quickest and the most, which is their first 2 years. So you don't want them to come out with those first 2 years with play, stuffed animals, stupid cartoons, falsehood in these Disney movies and all that. That falsehood messes their mind up. All right. We're talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Our brain cells are created to think rightly, not incorrectly or falsehood. So if that child is to master mathematics, they need to start at an early age where they build their foundation up. And then it's in the teaching is a barrier as well, because most math teachers teach the way that they were taught math, you know, and that just kind of perpetuates the cycle of not really getting a full understanding of what mathematics is all about. We're doing things, we're making steps and so forth, just based on what we're told to do. Do it this way, but we're not answering the question why. We're not understanding what is multiplication truly, what is division, what is addition and subtraction. How is multiplication a quicker way to add? See, these are your basic concepts that need to be built conceptually and not just doing it because your teacher said to do it this way and you don't know why. So you ask people, why do we, when we divide fractions, why do we flip the fraction on the right and change it to multiplication? I don't know. That's what the teacher said to do. So those type of teachings and methods are being passed on. And by the time they get into 8th grade, 7th grade, and they are looking at algebra, they don't have the arithmetic foundation strong enough in order to build. Mathematics is like a pyramid. So you got a base of arithmetic, a base of concepts, vocabulary that has to be mastered and fully understood so that the child can build with the algebra, build with the geometry, build with the algebra 2 trig, whatever. But it's all based on a pyramid structure where you can't skip steps. You have to master the foundational steps and build on that. So, and then also there's the will to learn and master math is not really pushed. With our children, with our people in particular, we keep using that crutch. I wasn't good at math, such as I wasn't good at math. That's for genius students. We have to change our perception. We have to change our will to master math, and we have to have discipline. Mathematics is like a musical instrument. Anybody that plays a musical instrument knows you can't practice it once a year. Okay, if you're going to become Beethoven, if you're going to become a master at your instrument, you have to practice it consistently. But outside of the classroom, the students don't really have that desire to practice it and continue to use it because they don't see the relevance of it. So if that teacher's not giving them real world application, giving them that the fact that math is not just for passing a test or passing a course, it is universal. So they have to know and see that math is everything and everything is math.
Going to that quote, math is everything and everything is math. In the Nation of Islam, of course, we're taught in problem number 13 that after learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, it stands true. It goes further to say you can always prove it at no limit of time. Mm-hmm. Then you must use it and secure some benefit while you are living. That is luxury, money, good homes, and friendship in all walks of life. So as an educator, how do you unpack that spiritually, mathematically, and in real time for students to get that mindset for success?
Good Lord, throwing these bomb questions at me. Well, I would say it like this. If you pay for a dance class, and when it's time to turn the music on and time for you to go out and dance, and you say, nah, I don't want to dance, I just want to watch everybody else dance, then something's wrong with your perception of that class. If you pay for a swimming class, but you talking about you don't want to get wet, then something's wrong with your perception of why you took that class. So when you take a class or when you study something, you're supposed to want to do that which is entailed in that study or that science. So mathematics is the universal language which supports all other sciences. There's no biology without math. There's no botany without math. There's no agriculture without math. There's no engineering without math, no aerodynamics. But why is that? It has to be used. So the Honorable Muhammad in that question or that question says, after learning it. So after you learn it, you don't just stand there and become a quotologist about math. No, you have to what? Then you learn to use it. So in education, in math classes, the teacher has to set up a learning environment where the students learn the math, but then they use it, they practice, they do something practical with it. And that's not solving 100 problems on a worksheet. That's not what I mean by use it. I mean, here's a problem that a doctor has. How would a doctor use math to solve this problem? Here's a problem that a pilot has. How would a pilot use math to solve this problem? I want to be a business person. How do business people use math to solve problems and gain luxury, money, good homes, and friendships? You see? So they have to see the application side of math. Math is a do thing. It's a verb. It's not just something that you philosophize about and that's it. You have to use the mathematics because it's a practical science that is the buttress for everything in the universe. So the more you bring in simulations, the more you bring in projects-based learning, the more you bring in real life applications, and they're real to everything that the student is involved in and wants to be, then the more they will see that, hey, I need to get my math on. I need to learn to use it, not just learn it.
Praise be to Allah. I'm watching you. You continue to glow more each time you answer a question in the math. It's like something is just coming out of you. All praise due to Allah. We have another question from the audience. This is from a parent, and she wants to know, how do we get more children interested in math? And that's from a parent standpoint. We talk about what teachers can do, but how can parents help? And she did say, you answered my question with your previous answer. I'm focusing it from a parental standpoint.
Got you. Sometimes I was invited to do parent workshops, and I would let the parents know you have the golden opportunity to continue what the math teacher does at school in your house, in your home, because there's mathematics all over the house. So if you're about to do some home improvement, you and your husband or somebody in the house, bring that child and let them see what math is involved. We're going to put tiles down, new tiles. We're going to put new carpet down. We're going to paint your bedroom. What mathematics is involved in that? When you go out on trips, you can take them on a hike. You can take them to the playground and talk about the math that's in the playground. You're on this, these, I hate to call them monkey bars, where you're on these monkey bars. What's the mathematics involved in that? You're on this thing that turns around and around and around. All that math can be explained in everything you take them to do. You take them to the grocery store, mathematics is there. You take them to the zoo, mathematics is there. You take them anywhere in their house, in their bedroom. They should see mathematics everywhere, and you have to be lit and fired up about mathematics in its relation to everything that your child is getting involved in or could be involved in. And then they will have a greater and greater appreciation for mathematics. They'll see it as something, not just that the math teacher is teaching me, but it's everywhere in everything. So you want to bear witness to the quote, M-I-E, math is everything, everything is math. As a parent, you're going to expose that child. You're cooking. You're showing them the recipe. Recipe got fractions. The recipe got mixed numbers. The recipe says pounds, teaspoons. All that's math. So you have a myriad and plethora of ways that you can show your child how math is everything. Everything is math.
Praise be to Allah. So going now from as a parent, and I'm going to go to you now as a brother, and you've left the classroom. What is home life for Brother Shahid Muhammad?
Well, Allah blessed me with a wonderful, marvelous, magnifico, espouse wife. And we were blessed to get 5 acres in Michigan. And we've transformed those 5 acres into a place where we have 2 gardens, sheep, chickens, a little small obstacle course area, a little small amphitheater area, because we want to be able to bring children and adults up to just get away from the city and experience the land, learn about agriculture, learn about animal husbandry. So that is one thing that I'm involved in, really just being the farm help for my wife, who is the chief farmer, chief agriculturalist, chief engineer of the whole shebang. So I'm the farm help when I'm not planning for school or getting ready to go into the city to do the #1 mission of our people. So the home life is assisting to the best of my ability, my queen, who has just done a marvelous job of transforming us from just land, 5 acres, into what we have today, which is a tremendous blessing.
All praises due to Allah. And of course, we know you have an 8 o'clock deadline. So the important question of WHID-FM, what has Islam done for you?
Man, if it was not for Islam, I don't know where I would be. I probably would be somewhere in Ohio, maybe, just being a math teacher, a Negro, happy with a suburban home, happy with a nice car, and not really have any care for our people's plight, any knowledge of our people's plight, just happy living the American, so-called American dream. But Islam has given me so many things. It's just not enough time to describe what it has done. I mean, to come from Philadelphia to Chicago and be able to meet the man of God, it's not, words cannot describe how much I would have to thank, how much I thank Allah for that opportunity. Islam has given me knowledge of self. Islam has given me knowledge of the true and living God. Islam has given me a focus, a purpose in life. Islam has given me a wife that is just one of the greatest wives a brother could have. Islam has given me beautiful children that have a mindset and a knowledge of self as well. Islam has given me a mission to help our people in terms of mathematics education. I wouldn't have any desire to do that if it wasn't for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching and Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Islam has given me an ability to attempt to live a healthy life through the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on how to eat to live. I wouldn't have any knowledge of eating properly, what to eat, what not to eat, if it wasn't for these teachings. Islam has given me a mindset to help the man of God and to help our people and then help humanity. Islam has taught me to be humble and not be arrogant. Man, I could just go on and on, but we don't have the time. So suffice it to say, words cannot describe what Islam has done for me. It's just a tremendous blessing to be able to be one that accepted the teachings and is striving hard to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and get into that new kingdom, the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's a little bit of what Islam has done for me.
Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. You can see the joy in that. It's beautiful hearing you, one, give the recognition to your wife. And that's a beautiful thing when a Black man recognizes the beauty inwardly and the strength of a Black woman who is his helpmeet. What do you say to our men in terms of self-care? Coming in and out of this world, and you have your farm, you're able to go and get into the earth. You talk about your health. What are some tips that you would give to Black men to say, here are some things that you can do in the way of self-help that can make you a greater Black man, that can take some of the stress of this world off of you?
Number one, we need to get a connection with Allah. And if you're not a quote unquote Muslim, even though you are, then get a connection with God. You have to have that. You have to have Allah, God, as your center, as your all in all. When the stresses of living in the concrete jungles of America hit us, which is 24/7 when we're out there, then we need to be able to go to Allah, talk to him personally. Of course, you do the regular. And if you're a Muslim, you do your 5 prayers a day. If you're a Christian, you're praying. But I'm talking about just you driving and then some stress hits you. and then you call on Allah, you call on God, you've had that connection with God personally, your best friend is God. So you want to make sure that you're always contacting your best friend, that you're doing things that please your best friend. And then that'll help relieve a lot of the stress. If you're doing the things that are in line with Allah's will, God's will, then you get blessings. If you do things out of God's will and against God's will and transgress, then you get cursings. So do the right thing, as Spike Lee said, and you'll get the right results, and you'll get the right peace to come upon your spirit and your soul. I would get the book, How to Eat to Live, books 1 and 2, so that your physical and mental health is what it's supposed to be in optimum. I would look at exercising, definitely, yoga, any type of meditation type of things to help you and I make it through the stresses of this world. But first is that spiritual connection, because that's the most important. And then find yourself, like I have found, and we're blessed to have, a wife that is in line with God, a spiritual wife, a righteous wife, a wife that wants to do the will of God over the will of Allah. And that way you will get peace, because we're taught by the Honorable Muhammad, heaven lies at the foot of woman. And so you want to find a wife, not a girlfriend. You want to find a wife that knows how to be a wife and knows how to console, how to uplift, and knows how to care for the Black man. And then you will have some peace. Even though this world is going to hell and is in hell, you will have some peace if you and I do those things. But wellness is very important, because you can lose your mind in this stress of Satan's world. And you don't want to be like that song by Grandmaster Flash, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes that make me wonder how I keep from going under. We can keep from going under if we tie our minds, tie our lives to Allah, God, make him the center, get us a good wife, and take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually.
All praises due to Allah. Thank you so much, Brother Shahid. It's always an honor to be in your presence. I thank WHID-FM for the opportunity to host this, to be with you in this time. And now I'm going to turn it back to Brother West to take us into our station ID. May Allah bless you and your family, Brother Shahid.
And you too, one of our top educators.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Shahid.
Wa alaikum salam. One of my top students.
Yes, sir. It's so great to see you.
Always good to see you, beloved.
Praise
and this is Brother West is a brother that went to college at an early age.
Yes, sir.
And he looks like he's 12 or 13, but he's actually in college. So we thank Allah for him. He is proof of the teachings of the Honorable Muhammad that it can happen if we start them young and give them knowledge of self and push them. So we thank Allah for you, Brother West, as being a powerful example. And this brother is in the streets all the time on the Savior's tour, doing the great work of helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan with our #1 mission. So we are definitely so proud of you, Brother West.
All praises due to Allah. I really appreciate that. Speaking of the Savior's tour, it's scheduled for Chicago, I believe next weekend. So inshallah, the brothers will be able to get down there. But with that, I'll go to our station ID. Family, we just want to remind you that you are tuned in and listening to WHID-FM. What has Islam done for me? We thank you for tuning in and spending your valuable time, because without you, there is no WHID-FM. Now, if you ever have any suggestions, please give us an email at WHID1919@gmail.com. And also, please subscribe to WHID-FM on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, please. And next week, our guests will be Sisters Aaliyah and Aisha Muhammad from Rochester, New York. So praise be to Allah. Make sure you tune in for another wonderful episode right back here on WHID-FM. Praise be to Allah. And Brother Shahid, did we have any more time to ask you some questions, or did you have to go ahead and close out?
Yes, that to go. We got the first day of school tomorrow, so
Yes, sir.
but I
Understood.
appreciate all the questions and all the audience for responding.
Yes, sir. We definitely thank you for coming on, answering our questions, the question of our audience members. I feel like we gotta have you back on pretty soon.
And praise be to
Definitely.
God. I would love it, inshallah. I appreciate you, my brother. Love you much.
All
And
praises be
everybody.
to Allah.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. We love you too. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, family.
Praise be to Allah. So, family, I believe with that, we'll go ahead to our announcements. I believe our announcements for the week. Let me go ahead and share those. Family, you are invited to study with the Nation of Islam to learn the life-giving, life-saving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as given to us by his premier pupil, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, if you would like to attend a study group, we advise you to please go ahead and type in your search engine www.noi.org/go study. If not, you can also join the Nation of Islam today by going ahead to NY.org/join so that you can start the process to join the Nation of Islam, of course. And then if you have any questions, comments, or want us to speak to you personally, you can give us a call at 773-324-6000. Once again, that's 773-324-6000. So family, make sure you go ahead and visit those services. Next, we know that in a time like today, we're experiencing a lot of filth, a lot of debauchery on the radio. But of course, for every problem, we have a solution. So, family, if you are not familiar, and if you are, we still advise you to tune into Final Call Radio. All you have to do is go ahead and type in finalcall.com, click that listen live button 24/7. 24/7. You can hear lectures live from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and also the Sunday lecture each Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the time may vary depending on your time zone. But please go ahead and tap in with Final Call Radio if you aren't familiar already. Next, family, the Final Call newspaper. The Final Call newspaper is a wonderful, wonderful resource to learn more about the Nation of Islam, of course, but also to keep updated on what's going on in present times. It's written by people like you and me, so that means it's for us and by us. You can get a copy out there from our hardworking brothers on the streets, or you can go to finalcall.com and sign up for a digital subscription where you'll get it on each of your devices every week. Next, family, we want to go ahead and give a shout out to our host, Brother Donald Muhammad, and his book, I Never Knew I Am All That. This is one of his many publications that he's done, and it's talking about our youth, family. So we have a lot of great illustrations in there from our sister Amina Lay, and also teaching the youth a little bit more about their history, where they come from, where they have the potential to go. So if you're interested, please type in I Never Knew I Am All That on Amazon, and you can go ahead and purchase the book and also support our host, Brother Donald Muhammad, and then also your nation as well. Next, for our viewers who are in the Richmond, Virginia area, we want to advise you to go ahead and please visit Muhammad Mosque number 24 every Sunday. Unless there's further notice, you can go ahead to Muhammad Mosque number 24 on the Hobson Lodge, 801 Prince Hall Drive. That's Richmond, Virginia. And you will hear the reality of God from student minister Tracy Muhammad, or if there's a guest speaker. So family, please go ahead and hear those life-giving, life-saving teachings. Next, for those of us who are down here in the Baltimore area, where Brother West is from as well, you can go ahead and visit us at 2801 North Dukeland Street, Baltimore, Maryland 21216, and you will hear the renewing of your mind, usually from our dear brother student Imam Abdul Salam Muhammad, or if not, you may even hear Sister Janine, who is the co-host on our show. Praise be to Allah. So make sure you tune in for those life-giving, life-saving teachings down here in Baltimore, 2801 North Dukeland Street. And praise be to Allah, family. There will be no further announcements from myself. And now I will bring up our dear sister Shahid Muhammad for our new segment covering Eat to Live. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shahid.
Wa alaikum salam, Brother West. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, ma'am?
All praises due to Allah. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. Thank you so much for tuning in to another wonderful episode of WHID-FM. Welcome to our new segment, Eat Well, Be Well. We truly pray that our efforts blesses and enriches your life tremendously, helping all of us to thrive in wellness. What I will be reading to you today is from How to Eat to Live, Book 1, page 34. This information is found in the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. The topic is the right food and the proper time to eat it is becoming a must. To live without sickness and without fear of a short span of life is now a must for the people who expect to see the hereafter. The way that God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises I do forever, is teaching us the lost found members of the Aboriginal nation is the best way regardless of what it is, whether it concerns food, mental stability, or what have you. He teaches us in the best way. I offer you his teaching, and it is up to you to accept or reject them. But I repeat, his is the best way, as he says in his holy Quran, I, Allah, am the best knower. Chapter 2, verse 1. Since he represents himself as the best knower, then it is nothing but intelligence on our part to follow and obey his guidance. Think about that. Who gives the best advice and whose guidance is best for our future, regardless of what we desire. He is the best knower of guidance we should have. I won't read all of this, but enough to encourage us and to inspire us to really add life to our years and years to our life. There will be no sickness or disease among us when we learn and obey the law of nature. The law of nature is the divine law of the Creator himself, set for us in the beginning of the creation of the universe. This race, white, of people has ignored and disobeyed this law and has met with disaster. They seek and have tried throughout their civilization to change the very natural religion of the black man. But time has proved that the white man was a failure and now has met his unnatural and false teachings and practices with truth and reality of the law of nature and its workings among the created creatures of God. This law is now to defend us against the false guidance and rebelling of this white race. Let the white man eat all the hog he wants. It was made for him, not us. It was made for a cure for many of their diseases and is used for salves. If you want to enjoy good health, eat only once a day and nothing between meals. If you are not sick, there is an allowance made for the sick ones who sometimes are not able to eat enough at one meal to take them over to the next meal, or whose bodies are weak and must be built up for the one meal a day. In case they sometimes eat 2 meals a day, but never 3. If you can eat 1 meal every other day, you will enjoy both health and a longer life. Even the men and women who do strenuous mental work can go along with 1 meal a day if they eat the proper food and never want more than that. In closing, we are thrilled to announce the continuation of our 9-part series dealing exclusively with the 9 systems and its profound connection to food, both physically and spiritually. We look forward to the endocrine system part 2. More information coming soon. Thank you all so much for joining us. Until then, stay blessed, stay healthy, and keep tuning in to WHID-FM. This is your sister, Sister Shahid Muhammad. Eat well, be well, and on behalf of Brother Shahid, think well. Assalamu alaikum. We will now go to Sister Latifa Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Latifa.
And you are coming to me to do what at this time, beloved?
Oh, am
Am
I
I
going,
going
Brother
to-
West? Maybe I had a slow moment.
Oh,
So,
praise
Brother West,
Yes,
I
to
ma'am.
Allah.
apologize. We
No
just
worries,
move
no
with good
worries.
grace
With that,
and love
we're
and
gonna go ahead
smiles.
and close out the show in prayer. Attention prayer.
Okay.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Wa alaikum salam, family.
This house is dedicated to knowledge and to the spreading of knowledge. Elijah Muhammad inspired new thought, new mind, new way of civilization among black people. But he wanted a house from which a light could be lifted up to give guidance to all who would be guided as this world begins to close down. This National Center for the Re-Education and Retraining of the black man and woman, but for the totality of the human family of our planet. I named this mosque after the only woman that the Quran names a chapter after, the mother of Jesus, Maryam. All human beings need to be re-educated. That is the purpose of the National Center.